Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, Rooks and Ramblers, whoever you are, welcome back to the third instalment of all the country parks. And today we're here in Moses Gate. Now, if you have good memory from about 7 to 6 months ago, we came here because we finished this bad boy here, the River Crawl, and basically here we are again. And let's just say the backstory now. Okay, so the history is that back here, or somewhere around here, was actually a paper mill, and the paper mill had, a pretty successful run like all paper mills do, and for some reason in 72, because it was probably closed or something, it was demolished, and for about 3 years people probably used it as, just a spot to go walking and that, and maybe the council noticed and they were like, tell you what, this is now a country park, and that's the history.
Hello, this is one of the two man-made lakes known as Crompton Lodges that form the centrepiece of the park. They were built because by the time the River Crawl came down from Bolton, it was filled with such a lot of crap that the water was actually unusable for making paper, so they had to build these lodges to get a decent supply of reasonably clean water, and now they're home to a lot of wildfowl, as you can see, and partly because of that the country park is also designated as a National Nature Reserve. On the walk around the big lodge you'll come across a smaller lodge to the right hand side, which doesn't appear to be as popular with the birds, but does provide some quiet fishing. And there's also a third lodge on the circuit, which is more of a giant lily pond by the looks of things.
Pretty cool, because you don't really see lily pads all that often.
I don't know if people come in here to dump the goldfish if they don't want them anymore.
So here we are at a spot with only the most necessary information. Like, it's talking about killer whales outside a pond in a country park that's not connected to anything like a sea or ocean. I mean, like, still though, you never know. It might just be one that somehow magically teleported in.
You never know.
Here we are in Dragonfly City. See if I can catch any on video. Oh, there's one. When we come to country parks, we've actually seen a lot of things that you don't typically see. Dragonfly being one of them. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to catch another one. There's also a cool little ducky over here.
Hello, this is Rock Hall. It was built in 1805 for the mill manager, so we could keep an eye on what was going on. Up until 2014 it was a visitor centre and the headquarters of the Countryside Ranger Service, but that all disappeared due to local authority cutbacks. There is some hope that a charity will soon take it over, and the longer they take, the more work they'll have to do. As you can see, there's a fair few broken windows on the top storey, and the bottom stories had to have extra boarding up, but we can be hopeful that one day it'll be up
to be
again.
Fair though, it does look better than half the stuff in Detroit.
Last time I came here with my wife, the centre was still open and there were toilets in there which my wife wanted to use, and there was a school party all on the steps, and the teacher really pulled her face at making them clear a path so my wife could get through. I thought, what sort of an example are you setting to the kids there, you ignorant young woman? And this is rock haul from the back. It actually doesn't look as bad as I was expecting, actually. This still looks in fairly good nick, and behind it, if you follow this lane, it will eventually take you into Farnworth Cemetery, which adjoins the park. And here you've got the weir on the River Crowle that once powered the mill that was here. We're not going to say too much about the river because we've covered that in our explorations before on all the rivers of Crowle, and I'll put in a link at the end of the video if you want to visit that. There is a bit of a kids play park here for the those were the youngsters and the younger tart.
I went on the slide.
Yes, people who don't realise they're not kiddies anymore.
Hey, yeah.
Now, some visitors to the park never get up this far, but it is the end of the stretch of the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal, which still has water in it. You can follow the course of the canal that way, almost as far into as Bolton Town Centre. And the country park was extended that way when the chemical works behind Little Lever High School was closed down and the area was landscaped. That meant the country park could be extended, but apart from a model aircraft field, there are no facilities that side of the road apart from footpaths and bridleways, and the canal gives you a nice level walk down towards Knob End. Okay, there is no cafe in the park, but usually most days you will find an ice cream van here, winter too.